Welcome to Two Girls, Big Cups, the podcast where we sip and spill on all things Tumbler Talk and oh, so much more. Grab your big cup and join us for your favorite juicy chats you've been itching to have. Cheers!
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Two Girls, Big Cups podcast. I'm Kelly Burns from Burns Boutique. With me is Christina Smith from the Cupsmith. We've had a lot of new subscribers lately, so welcome if you're new here, and thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't, make sure you do.
Thank you. Yes, welcome.
Yes, I think we're like at 64 now. We had
That's awesome.
We had like a huge jump.
Yeah, because we were like trying to get to that 50, and then we got there, and then we had another bump. So yeah, thanks for everybody for joining us. Check out our previous episodes, and again, like Kelly said, thanks for the support and subscribing and all those things.
Yes.
If you haven't liked our Facebook page, we have a Facebook page. Mm-hmm. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, all those other places.
Follow us everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. This was not planned on my end. Somebody got an early peek at my wardrobe for today, and
I copied her.
But it's about time because we have so many of the same shirts.
We do.
We do. A lot.
We really do. I saw she was wearing that, and I thought about wearing this earlier, but then when I saw that you had it on, I was like, well, it's already out. I'm going to go grab it. Plus, we are also, I kind of did it too because we're also matching kind of on our cup of the day.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's very true.
So our cup of the day cups are from the same artist. So that's why we're matching. So we both have our cups from Lindsey Briggs of Brave Danger Designs for our cup of the day cup. So I am using my Luna cup that I showed off to everybody during our last episode. And then Kelly unboxed hers a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, mine was a few episodes ago.
And how Harry's just a snack.
I know, right?
In that one.
Adult Harry.
Adult Harry here's
Grown Harry.
Yes, grown hair.
Like that's grown Harry right there.
Yes. Thank you, Lindsey, again for our wonderful, amazing cups. We love them. They're amazing. And if you haven't checked out Lindsey, make sure you go check her out. She has an amazing group that I think, Kelly, you just checked her out live recently.
Yeah, she's got a free group. And then I think she has like a Patreon type group too.
Okay. Yeah, great. Perfect.
Because I asked her, I'm like, do you teach this kind of thing in there? Because I'd sign up in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Does she?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I was like, if you ever start, let me know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the artwork in this is just insane.
It's amazing.
It is. So we got a couple of topics to talk about today in our Tumbler time talk. And then after that, we'll go into our Love is Blind discussion. But if you're not watching yes, we have our gold cups for our Love is Blind discussion later. So if you're not watching Love is Blind, we'll do our regular Tumbler talk first. So
but you should go watch it.
You should watch it. It's really good. Mm-hmm. Last season was my first season. And this is my second season. So it's not like, if you don't know what's going on, that you need to know what's going on.
Right.
It's a good show. It's a good show. Especially to craft too. Mm-hmm. So is our podcast. Just saying.
I was doing the little diamond dot. I had some coasters. I was doing while I watched.
Cool. Nice.
I need a new TV hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't really make cups when I'm sculpt or whatever if I'm watching something I really want to watch.
Yes, I agree.
Something easier.
Mm-hmm. Something you don't have to be quite so focused on. Yeah. Yep. I think about rhinestoning every once in a while to do that. If you don't know, Kelly and I aren't huge rhinestoners. We do them. We don't.
And then we get burnt out on them, and then or we don't finish.
We make
staring
like
at
one.
me right now. It's staring
Yeah.
at me right now.
I got a couple of those. We have a couple of rhinestone projects that we've started but not finished. But
Yeah.
I always think about, oh, I could just be sitting here and actually finish that project, but I still don't. Okay, so let's get into our Tumbler Talk topic. Which one do you want to talk about first?
I don't care.
I don't either.
I'm
Let's
letting
talk
you run
about.
you can run the show.
I'm running the show today. I'm in charge.
I'm still recovering. Like, disclaimer, if I have a coughing fit in the middle of this, I've been sick for like a week and a half. I'm at the tail end of it, but there's still like little
Yeah, gunk and stuff.
My body's like, you need more sleep. I'm like, okay.
You're like, yeah, I'll oblige.
Calmed down and took a nap this morning.
Yeah. Kelly was like, I need you to hold me accountable and not let me nap this morning. So I message her and I'm like, hey, are we going to do this? No response. And I'm like, she's sleeping. And she was.
Well, okay, so we're going to do our Love is Blind talk later, but the new episode, the wedding episode, aired this morning. And so we were like, let's watch it before the podcast. And I knew Christina was like, I'll be ready at 9. She told me that. So I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, it's like 8:10. I'm like, I could fit in a little cat nap. It'd be fine. I'll do my makeup while I watch the show. It'll be fine. And so I'm like kind of trying to fall asleep. I'd look at the clock, trying to fall asleep, look at the clock. It was like I was too stressed out about the upcoming time. So by probably 8:50, out I go. I just had to hang in there for 10 more minutes.
Yeah. Your body was like, no.
Yeah.
Your body was like, spoiler alert, not going to happen. Let's talk about something that happened to you recently. And, it's definitely been going around and been happening a lot, but it's definitely been, I feel like, probably upticking a little bit with the holidays coming up. So you tell everybody the story about.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've talked about different scams and scammers and different things to watch for on here. The newest one I've been dealing with, which I know I've seen other people get messages and things too, and go to a group and go, is this a scam? And, I've seen it happening, but now it's come my way. And, there's even been messages to like the 3D Tumbler Lounge page and stuff too. Where it's just, they're showing you, they're like basically messaging you off of a post of a cup and saying, is this available? Is this still available for sale? And they're doing that on cups that sometimes like the post doesn't even say it's for sale.
Right.
Starters. But yeah, I've had a few of those lately where they're trying to buy it. And, one of them you can just snoop their profile and kind of figure it out,
Yeah.
So I had a good hunch and just kind of left them hanging
Played
with
along,
well, it's not done yet, but when it is, and I'll let you know and we can talk or whatever. I just kind of, and sure enough, a couple weeks later, I go back, that account's gone. It's not even in the messenger. I went looking for that reason though. I knew what it was. I wasn't about to actually message them. I knew it was a scam, but that account was gone. So I was like, I was right. I knew it. And I've had more sense. And it's always normal. It seems very normal. Just somebody being like, hey, I'm interested in buying this. How much? But it's just in my cases, I'm able to catch it really fast because they're asking about stuff that's not available, or they're asking about stuff that's not ready yet, or whatever. So I'm able to respond with, well, this isn't completed yet, or, oh, well, that's not available for sale. How much? Right there. You didn't even read what I said. And that's how I'm catching these so fast. Because in my case, it's not, oh yeah, it's $50. No, it's not. Okay, how much? You can't read English, can you? Like, you can't read what I'm saying, can you? Like, something's not, I literally just said no.
Right.
You're asking me how much.
Right.
Or I had one though yesterday, or 2 days ago, where they asked if something was available, and I had a ready to ship drop the other day. Which there's still some cups there. Go check.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, go to Kelly's website. It is linked in the description.
Maybe there's still things there by the time this airs. But no, I had a ready ship drop, and they were asking about one of the cups that's literally on my website for sale. Is this available? Yes, you can purchase it at www.burnsboutique.com. I don't feel comfortable going through websites. Cool.
What?
I don't feel comfortable selling to you directly. Have a great day. That's how that went.
Yeah.
Like, so red flags are if they don't want to go about your payment method. They have their own way they want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Any kind of PayPal friends and family, another red flag.
Yeah.
They want your email address. That's
Yes.
another red flag. They
That's
do not need your email address. They don't need your email.
That's
You
a
need theirs
big
to send
one.
them an invoice or to
Yep.
PayPal an invoice or something.
Yep.
That's another
Yep.
red flag. If they want info from you, nope, done. It's a
Yep.
scammer.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah, that one's a big one that I see going around a lot in like
Yeah.
Facebook groups and stuff. People are saying like, is this a scam? And it's always people saying like, oh, my PayPal account doesn't work. I need to go through a business account. What's your email? And it's like, nope, that's not how it works. And you are a scammer.
Yep. And I think we've talked too, like there's a Cash App thing where it's like, oh, it's telling me your account has to be this kind of account. And so you have to do this, but here's the link for you to upgrade for $100 to this account or something.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Nope.
Never click on links from them. Never give them your email. Never give them your information. If they don't want to give you their information, it's because they're a scammer.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So just be very careful with those
Yeah.
kind of messages. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yes.
If if somebody is inquiring to buy something and they want to buy it through a certain payment method and you have a website, make them go through your website. Stick to your rules, stick to your policies, because especially with like holidays coming up, I feel like that's when scammers like really go hard.
Right, because they know that one, there are going to be people shopping, and two, people who are selling things need to make money.
Oh, yeah.
It's the time of year where people are trying to sell and make money. So
taking advantage.
It's prime time for those scammers to come out, and we are seeing that, and they are coming out. So more so.
So just be aware. And you know what? Snoop their account. Go find their Facebook, snoop it, look at it, see where they're actually from, see what other accounts follow them, because sometimes that's its own red flag.
Yeah. Or how long that they've had an account. It's like, it was just open today. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one was like less than a year old or something.
Yeah. And you can sit on a message too for a little bit, because like you said, you came back and that was gone.
Yep.
They probably got reported and everything.
Yeah, but nothing. All they got to do is scam a person or two, get reported, it gets taken away.
Yep. Yeah. So make sure that you are on the lookout for those scammers, because they are out. Yep. You can check it back on our playlist. I think it's called like Scammers or something. The episode. I'm
pretty sure that word's in there somewhere.
It definitely is in the title. So we've got a whole segment devoted to that. So we won't go into too much detail, but just like Kelly said, good reminders to be vigilant for those things. So yeah. All right. So something else that we kind of have been talking about, kind of been going through ourselves for a while too, that we've been wanting to talk about on here is burnout. You're like, I think that's, part of the motivation for us starting this podcast. We've talked about it a few times, that we wanted to really focus on doing fun things this year, which was part of the reason why we started this podcast. But I think also too, part of that is we're kind of burned out too. And so just, dealing with that throughout the year. And
I feel like I've seen a lot of other people talking about that as well.
I do too.
A lot of people are like pivoting with their business and maybe changing the kind of things that they're doing, or ending their groups, or just restructuring things. And
yes, I've seen a lot of that.
Straight up shutting down. I've seen some people just be like, I'm just gonna close. I'm tired.
Like right. Yeah. I've seen a lot of creators who are like big creators too, who have been around from my beginning here, many years, who are just like, I'm done. Peace out. And it's like, wow, it's crazy. But I also am like, yeah, I get it. I feel like as the economy has kind of worsened and just, people being in the game for a long time, and as things have changed and the market has changed for our craft, it used to be a big like boom, like
Yeah.
we could sell stuff easily and just get stuff out the door, and now it's a struggle, and I think people are just like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand it. We're
Mm-hmm.
kind of in the like, the bust, the boom and the bust. And I feel like we're
Yeah.
kind of in the bust part.
Yeah.
It's going to be
In the
interesting
bust.
to see.
I'm in the bust right now, I'd say.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see in the future, like, does it come back? Do the people that have left come back? Do people repivot back?
Mm-hmm.
Or, I'm just curious what it's going to be like in the future,
Yeah.
just things like that when,
Yeah.
if things get better.
Mm-hmm.
In our industry, I mean, sales wise.
I mean, I've been doing 3D alone for like over 4 years, I think, at this point, almost going on 5. And that's been my main thing, and I love it, and I still do. But the last 2 years I've had my mentorship group, and it's like trying to think of new stuff every month for
Yeah.
2 years. My brain's tired. Like,
Yeah.
like it's just tired of trying to think of things. And
Right. It's a
that's why
lot
I've been
every
pulling like
month.
some old designs even out from the very like some of my first 3D designs. I'm like, I forgot about that. Let's do that one. Or, because
Yeah.
I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
to
And
try to
sometimes
come up
you
with every month.
do more than one design a month, so
Yeah.
it's at least 24 designs that you've come up with and taught and and then
Yeah.
you do other things besides just your mentorship group too, that you're putting
And I work full
content
time.
out for, and and you work full time. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
And it's for me though, the main burnout I think is just coming from a place of it's like I've plateaued in a sense,
I feel that.
like in the beginning, it's like what you're even saying with sales. It's like, I could drop a 3D tumbler, sell like that, $300, boom, gone. Like,
Yep.
because it used to be really hard to get a design for me, and it still kind of is. I can't get anything finished, but but it was a thing where it's like when I did release something, like I'd have people like waiting for that time to get it, and now it's like, I can have a drop, and it's like crickets,
You're right.
because people aren't buying, and
Yep.
they aren't spending like they were, and then like in the same sense, it's like with everyone, dealing with the economy and finances and things like that, membership
Right.
starts to do that.
And
so as it goes down, and it's hard to find like motivation even when you're not seeing the results you want. It's that's hard. That's a really hard thing.
Right. It's not as exciting when it's not
right.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting times.
And sometimes I think the best thing when you are having burnout is to like take a break. Like
but you can't when you have a group.
Right. Like you can't when you have a group. So it's like, honestly, some ways that I've been dealing with that is trying just other crafts, other things.
Yeah.
Like, so I've started doing more of, like I'm starting to play with vinyls, and I'm learning all the 2D things I never learned back in the beginning. I'm like, okay, these are all things people have been doing for like 3 years, but I guess I can finally learn how to do it. So I've been having some fun with that, and that's kind of been helping a bit to just try something new, and
right, reinvigorate yourself and and they get done faster than 3D.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to epoxy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've been taking a lot of time off.
Were you going on a year now, or?
Well, I for sure took like the summer off, which I didn't like plan or anything like that. It just happened to be that way. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's great. I took the summer off. It was great. I do stuff here and there, and I'm just very like, I'm kind of getting back into making cups for gifts for people. which is how I started.
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoyed that. I just made 2 gifts recently. And so yeah, like you said, that's kind of enjoying doing that again because I don't know. I just feel like it's less pressure. It's more fun. It's more like
Yeah.
I make whatever I want because it's a gift.
Right.
Like, and I'm still using my supplies, and I don't know. That's what I've been doing lately.
Nice.
Not much.
I did a very ADHD crafter thing yesterday.
Which was?
So I stumbled across a Harry Potter embroidery book, and now apparently I
Yes.
need a whole new hobby. So I went and bought a bunch of embroidery stuff at Hobby Lobby yesterday.
I'm pretty sure I saw the same set as you because I saw those before and I thought about getting them and I was like, no, I cannot do that. Nope, nope, don't do it.
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
sure.
like, I did embroidery like back in the day as a kid, like in church.
Me
Like that
too.
was like one of the crafts you would sometimes do, and
Mhm.
you'd have the little picture, like it'd be like a kit. And so I'm
Yep.
like, I can do this. And then I'm looking through the book, and I'm like, I get to this page that talks about different loops and stitches. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know about like 3.
I might need to actually like learn this a little bit.
YouTube, man. It's
I know. That's how I learned to crochet. It's how I learned to make tumblers. It's,
Yeah, perfect. Same with tumblers for me.
Although that like my YouTube Tumblr journey was literally just like, how do you put the glitter on the cup? Okay, some Mod Podge, and then you just sprinkle it on a little bit that way. Okay, and that was it.
That was it. Oh man, I watched all sorts of things.
I am very much self-taught.
I watched a lot of things. Like I made my first turner. I made that myself.
That's cool.
From watching some guy do it, and like he showed you how to take an extension cord and like wire it to make it the power source for the motors for the turner, and I did that myself. Yeah.
Nice.
I know. Like when I was doing it, I didn't think anything of it, but like now when I say it out loud, I'm like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I think I just went to like Etsy and I got like a 1-cup turner, and it was just your basic little wooden base, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. My first turner didn't last too long for a couple of reasons. One, because, I built it. 2, it was like a 3-cup turner, and I was like, oh, I need more than this.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a 2-cup turner even. But, and then I built my second one too. And that was a 6-cup turner. And I was like, I am set. But I could only get like 3 of the turners to work at one time. And by then I had like sold enough where I was like, well, I'm going to use my sales money to just buy a legit turner.
That's funny.
Yep.
What kind do you have? Is it an FH or?
No, I just got it off of Etsy.
Okay. I was just trying to picture like what I've seen of it. I'm like, what turner is that? I realize I don't know what kind you have. Nice. Okay. Why did I think it had a white base? I don't know why.
I don't know. It's a
Kelly's not going to show
9-cup turner.
Nice.
And it's stacked. And it's from Etsy. The guy still sells them on Etsy. I've never had a problem with it. I like it.
Nice.
And then I have like a 4-cup turner next to it, which I'm thinking about putting away. That's one thing that I have been doing while I've been off is I've been kind of reorganizing my craft room a little bit slowly as my budget allows. Kelly's like, not me.
I'm just looking at the mess around me. Like I have this little space. Everything else is covered. Like that's why I can't pan my phone over to my cup turner, because then you'd see everything over here and you'd be like, I think Christina would go into a panic attack. Like she'd probably like, oh my God, let me organize it. That's so bad.
I would say, you out of here. Just leave me. Bring me lunch. Otherwise, Let me be. I'm going to
I am
organize this for you.
overdue for like a deep clean.
Yeah. I do one every
There's
year.
not enough
I do a
hours
deep
to
clean
do
every year.
everything.
And it
But see,
involves
I need to
taking everything out.
do that multiple times a year because I destroy it so fast. Like it doesn't last long enough
It doesn't
to make
last
it a
long
once a
enough.
year thing.
See, I clean
It's
it
ruined
throughout.
in a
I
week.
do like I do little cleanups throughout, but I do a big deep one. I probably don't need to this year though, because I haven't been in here as much as I normally am, and I've been keeping up with it. But like, I just got like a big tower thing to store my vinyl in because I keep buying it and not using it all the time. And I was running out of room for it, and I just bought a pegboard at IKEA yesterday for little things to like store little things, and I just keep organizing things. I love organizing. Okay. I'm like, what should I do in my craft room? Oh, organize it.
That's like the one thing in our friendship that we are completely opposite on. Like realistically, like you and I are very similar, a sense of humor and different things like we that's why we jinx all the time. And like we're very much the same with our personalities. But like that's the one thing we are so different on is like cleanliness and organization.
I don't think I'm clean in general, but I love to organize. Yeah.
I think I know what I need to do in here. Which is
and
like I need to get some of the big things out that don't have to be in here, like shipping supplies. I don't need to keep that in here. I can put that in the garage, like stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I'm big on that, like efficiency and like, this should go here because this will be a little more efficient over here, and this shouldn't be here because we don't. Do we need that here? No, we don't need that here. So let's put that. I love that. Like I'm like just even talking about it with you, I'm like geeking out about it. I'm like, ooh.
So when you come for Enchanted Con, do we need to give you an extra day just to clean my room?
Yeah, right. For sure. I would. Like I'm not joking. I would totally do it. Like to me, that sounds like the best day. Like, and you're probably like,
so weird.
You are nuts. You are crazy. And I'm like, just let me at it. Let me at it. Oh yeah. Oh, and then I'll just bring you in and I'll be like,
I'm just gonna let you go, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go have some mimosas. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Just kick in the other room.
Yeah. You'll yell from the other
room. How's it going in there?
Where's my baby?
I'm thinking more of like I can practically hear you being like, Kelly, how old is this damn cup?
Did you know you had this here?
You're right. Yeah, did you know that this was in here?
Why do you still have this? Why'd you save this? I don't know.
Do you have a raw glittered cup that's been sitting here for 4 years just collecting
dust?
Oh,
I got one of those. I got one of those. I got multiple.
Like you can't do anything with it now because it's got dust all stuck in it. All you can do is strip it.
I for sure got one of those. Got one of those. I must have moved it recently because it's not where it normally is, but it's been staring at me for years.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah. Anything else with burnout or? No. We kind of went off topic of that, but
yeah, we did go off topic.
I just looked down at my notes.
Tell us in the comments, though. Have you gone through burnout? What do you do to get past it and to kind of get back on track? Let us know.
Yeah.
I think that's been my key lately. I think it's just doing some other stuff.
Yep. Yeah. If you've been pivoting your business or thinking about pivoting your business, what are you thinking about doing? I've seen people do like those patches, those hat bar type things, like that's kind of how they've pivoted. Or I've seen people just pivot into just totally different things. Like I know somebody who I used to watch make cups. Now she's doing makeup instead and just very, different things. So let us know. Yeah. Well, how are you doing? Let us know how you're doing. And if you're feeling burnout, what are your plans?
Yeah. Like I for me, it's because I'm learning something totally new.
Yeah.
I've never done something like this before.
That's probably
like a template thing. I've never done this ever.
Yeah.
Which,
That's-
shout out to Christina. Look,
Hi.
guys, she designed this
I did.
decal.
I drew that freaking book.
She drew all this stuff.
I did, yeah.
Look, I'm gonna move. This is my chance to show you off. Look, she drew that decal. And then this whole design. Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it and I love it. And I kind of hope nobody buys this because I want to keep it.
I did draw that. It was Kelly's idea. The saying was 100% Kelly's idea, but yeah, I drew it up. I made her vision come to life.
I love it. It was mildly a collab. Mildly. That's all her work. All her work.
You can get that vinyl at the Glitter Guy. And we have discount codes linked below. And yeah.
And if you ask her nicely, maybe she'll sell you the file. If you print vinyl.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you are a vinyl sale,
I want everyone to sell this. So guys, hit her up. I've been on a mission. I'm like, I want everyone to sell her stuff. So good. So good. I love it.
Thank you. I think I just took a drink out of my cup.
Oh, we're pivoting.
Let's pivot. Speaking of pivoting, let's pivot to Love is Blind. So if you're not watching Love is Blind, we are so sad to see you go, and we hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching and supporting us.
And we'll see you next time.
You should watch.
Lindsey Briggs is going to watch it now because of us.
Yeah. I love that.
She said that. She's like, I'm going to start it.
I love that. Yeah, so watch it if you're not watching it. If you are watching it, welcome.
I love the TVs. Welcome.
So the last episode that we recorded, we did episodes 1 through 6 recap. And so when we left off, they had like proposed, they went to Mexico, we made predictions. Some of us were right, some of us were very wrong. And
that episode did not age well. It did not age well at all. By the time it aired, the new stuff had already been released. And so yes. It was hilarious though watching it. It was. Like, oh my God, I'm so wrong.
Let me just say this too. Kelly has an excellent judge of like character, and like she's like she can like sense things about people.
I can. This is why
about 5 minutes into episode, I think 7, it was like, oh, Kelly's so wrong.
And you know what? But here's the difference between all that, right?
I'm gonna blame it on
about people I get to meet in person or meet online or just speak to.
True.
This was all edited. So I'm not getting to see the full picture of who these people are. In my defense. True.
Yes, very true.
I'm not getting to see the full picture. I'm getting to see Netflix's version of who they are.
I'm also going to say it was your sickness. You've been sick a lot lately. So, and not sleeping as well. So everything wasn't functioning correctly.
I mean, that happened after that, but I appreciate the the effort.
Oh, you're not sleeping well. It's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
So
I'm sleeping great now that I'm sick. These last 2 nights have been awesome. Only woke up once. It was great.
Yeah, that sleep pass or that sick pass out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So we left, the last recap we did was episode 1 through 6. They had just left the pods. They had went to Mexico. Now we're picking up on episode 7 through, I don't know, 10 or something. They have gotten home to DC and they've moved in together. And so we've got Monica and Steven, Hannah and Nick, Marissa and Ramses, Tim and Alex, Taylor and Garrett, Ashley and Tyler. When we first get back, is kind of where we left off. So I'm just reading the episode description because I
Mhm.
can't remember like what happens on episode
That
7.
I ended up actually going back and half rewatching. Like I was distracted, but I went back to rewatch because I'm like, I just need to like remember some of those like key moments, you know.
Yeah.
So I went back to because there was some I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this part, or you
Yeah.
know. So I'm glad I did
Yeah.
that. But
Well, when we were watching this too, so they dropped what, 3 episodes, I think,
I
was
think
it
so.
that first time? I watched them all and Kelly was at work and I'm like, I am dying. I need you to catch up ASAP because
Yeah.
those 3 episodes that dropped, major things happened. So let's start with like Monica and Steven because that was the thing that I was really dying about because
So
when we left off, you had said, "Oh, they're my favorite. I love them."
and I'm ashamed to say what I figured out because as we're watching the new episodes and she already knows everything and I'm texting her stuff, I was like, you know what it is? I really like him. I think he's really funny and I just think he's so sweet. And she's just quiet.
Mhm. I'm just
And
sitting
then
here like,
that episode, I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
yeah. So
And then after this too, because I'm
Steven's
having
big
to have
fat
to make
liar.
I'm having to have to make that podcast or the clip for our socials. And I'm cracking up too because you're like, he's got red flags for me. And you bring up the cheating thing where he got caught texting dirty stuff to somebody. And that was your big red flag. And I'm all like, well, how long ago was that? I mean, if that was a long time ago, like I'm trying to go benefit of the doubt here. Like,
Yes.
he freaking does the same thing.
Did it again. The exact same thing again.
0.1 for Christina, Kelly 0 because
Once a cheater,
you
always
nailed
a cheater.
that. I mean, your concern is literally what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
He did it again. The exact same thing he did before.
The exact same thing. He did it again.
I believe he's a sex addict.
Yeah, could be. I mean, he talked about it a lot.
The fact he's done it twice and even went through therapy after the first time too, and that clearly didn't help. But if you listen though to like how much sexual stuff he jokes and whatever, something about putting his thing in mac and cheese, like I mean, that's a lot to cut.
Right.
Like I think he even
as an
says,
adult,
like, the wind blows the right way and I get a boner is what he said. So I'm like,
right. It's
very like sex addict.
It's like you're not like a teenage boy who has a boner for the first time that is full of hormones. You are an adult man looking to get married. And you are talking about sticking your dingling in mac and cheese and all this other stuff. Like,
yeah,
more red flags.
Yeah. Well, or like there was that dinner thing or whatever, and he said something about down the road when girls start messaging him.
Yes,
or whatever.
BJ's.
It's like he already had his head like on what else he could get because of this or something.
Yes, yeah. He's like, we really gotta, have everything together because we're gonna have all these girls messaging us wanting to suck our dicks. It's like, what?
Probably because that was already happening.
Could have been, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, I didn't care for him.
I feel like the way he was at the end wasn't like, because it was a very just like cold demeanor kind of thing. I don't think it was him trying to be cold. Like, I don't think he was trying to be like insensitive or anything like that. I think it was just, yep, been here before. I know how this is going to go. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can do. So all I can do is apologize and get out of here. And
yeah,
I think he was just more matter of fact about it because he just knew. He's like, I can't save this. I can't fix this. I've done it again. I've screwed up again. All I can do is apologize for hurting this girl and then say, I'm going to leave you alone now so you can process this. Just leave. That's what he did.
Right. I agree. And I kind of like that he did that he was just like, yeah, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve this. I'm out. I'm going to leave you alone, which I thought was good that he did that. But
Yeah. Instead of hovering and talking and making it worse and making her feel worse, like you did what you
Yeah,
did.
or gaslighting
She's
her.
hurt from it. Like,
Yep.
there's nothing you can do.
Yep. Yep. He's been there before. He knows, just like you
Right.
said. He knew. He knew. So, yeah. And then I saw like on TikTok and stuff when she's been on a couple of podcasts since. I haven't seen a word from him on social media.
I have.
Have you? Okay.
And actually, that goes back to my like sex addict stuff. There's a video on his TikTok because I went and I found it because I'm like, I haven't seen him. So I'm like, Google Steven Love is Blind. Okay, got a first and a last name. Go to TikTok. Like I'm in my little detective mode.
Yeah,
so
Kelly's a master detective, so
I found his TikTok that way. And there's like a video of him like with a hard hat on. He's like doing some kind of construction-y thing. Look at the stickers. Look at the stickers.
Okay. I'll have to
go find it and look. It's all dirty, something shaped like a penis. So like it's all dirty sexual stuff on his stickers. Like that just tells me that's where your brain is 24/7.
Yeah, he's just not very mature either. Too. So
it'd be one thing if there was like maybe one little sticker that was like a funny, goofy thing, but it's like there's multiple.
Yeah, I'll have to go
stickers.
look. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said construction hat, I was like, oh yeah, I did see one TikTok with him with a construction hat on. So yeah. So back to what I was saying about her she's been on a couple of podcasts. I did see that she said that they've been in communication since, everything has aired, and she's like, he is a really nice guy, but
well, she even said on the show, she's like, we talked on the phone for 2 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
She's telling one of the girls that, and kind of said like it seemed like they came to a point of like a friendship, maybe.
Yeah, that's
like
what it seems
they're
like.
on okay terms. But the girl was like, would you ever? She's like, 100% no. Like,
yeah.
She's like, there's a 0% chance of that.
Yeah. And I bet that friendship probably won't last either because their only similarity really is that they had this experience together.
Yeah.
It'll probably fizzle out, but yeah. But it seems like no hard feelings really. And should we talk about the other bomb that got dropped in? I feel like it was episode 8. Like I feel like all the bombs got dropped in episode 8 to me.
Which bomb?
Maybe
bombs. Like, is this the baby bomb or is it a different bomb?
Maybe it bled into a different episode, or maybe they discussed it in the I don't know. I don't remember which episodes it was, but they finally talked about Tyler's kids. Because the whole time, pretty much the whole time, we have known that he has kids. He has 3 kids. And Ashley does not know this.
Yeah.
And finally, they showed her finding out that he has kids.
Yeah.
And then we find out what we assume. She doesn't know the full story. Still, he hasn't told her the full story. Because she is asking him questions, and she asks him, do these kids know what you look like? And he says, no, I don't think so.
On that one.
Yeah, flat out lied. Because there's plenty of pictures and videos of him with the kids. So baby mama has come out and released some videos about, what's happened. Apparently I heard that she took them down now, but you can find everything, people screen recorded it and stuff. But so he told her that he was helping out a lesbian couple, their sperm donor babies. They don't know him, which we have found out now that that's basically a majority of it is not true.
To an extent. Because when I first heard that, I'm like, you freaking liar. Yeah. I'm just thinking full on lie. But then from TikTok and stuff, confirmation, yes, there was a lesbian couple. Yes, they apparently did artificial insemination for not through like a medical office kind of thing, but more like this at home kind of thing. Yeah. Because one of the TikToks they talked about, they have, I guess, several of these devices to do that. And so for the first one, yes. For the first one, yes. That is completely true.
Yep, the oldest kid.
For the second
one, nope.
That happened on its own.
Or actually second and third, which they're twins.
So, yes.
Yeah. The second pregnancy.
Apparently the real way.
Yes.
And even
the
the mom
traditional
was like,
way.
yeah. And the mom is even like, saying how that really confused her because she's always identified as a lesbian, but
Yes.
here they were,
Yes.
So,
Yep, which he doesn't, from what we've seen on the show, he doesn't tell her that.
mm-mm.
And like we said, he flat out lies and
Yeah,
says
flat
like
out
they
lied
don't.
about ever seeing them.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yep.
it's half the truth. It's more
Mhm.
like 25% truth.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Right. Right. Yeah. So you really liked them. I like them.
I still do. Like, if you take
I feel like
that part out, if that part never happened, I'd be like, yes, I love them. I think they're great. But it's like, it's so hard to watch that, and you're just like, oh my God, you don't know anything.
yeah. I feel like I really like her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is like I really like her. I told you this earlier, like she reminds me a lot of AD from the
Mm-hmm.
last season. She just seems like a really strong, driven, to put together woman, and I just really like that about her. And I don't know, he just is kind of a piece of crap to me.
Yeah.
Knowing all this stuff about him now,
But
it's like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if that
yeah, it
wasn't a
ruins
thing
it.
and I just watched it as it was, I would think they're both great and that they're
Yeah.
both great together
I
because I
want
see
more
how
from
he
him
treats
though.
her. I see how he treats her and I see their discussions and I'm like, yeah, like I like him. And then there's this part. I'm
Yeah.
like, and that's what taints all of it. That's what changes all of it.
It does, but even taking it out, like I still want more from him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. He just seems kind of a little more reserved and not as vocal as her. And maybe that's just his personality. Maybe it's editing. Maybe it's because he's hiding something. Who knows? But
Mm-hmm.
I want a little bit more from him.
Yeah. And so I guess spoiler alert. Because we
Well, this will
watched.
be aired.
I know, but still,
But yeah.
you never know where people are.
Yeah. Right. Spoiler alert.
But this morning was when the wedding episode aired, and so we did watch it real quick before we came on here.
Yep.
So if you've watched, they did say yes, and they did
Yep.
get married.
They did get married.
And that's where this whole this is definitely new for the show to have a marriage actually a yes, and everyone's going, oh no, oh no, because we all know something she doesn't.
We all know.
That's nothing like that's ever happened before. When
Mm.
they say yes at the altar, we're all like, yay, because we've seen their journey and we agree and we think they're great, and
Mhm.
I can't really. I mean, I can maybe only think of one that I didn't like getting together, but from a past season, but
Yeah.
that was more of a dislike for one of the people,
Right.
But this is the first time where it's like, my God.
Yeah, it's like, are we watching a
got
train
married with
wreck
this-
about to
Yes, there's
happen?
Yes. There's this big, deep, dark secret. She doesn't congratulations, you're married and you're a stepmom, and you don't even know it.
You don't know, or
You
to what
don't even know
extent.
it
You don't
because
even
you
know to
think
what
it's a
extent.
donor. It's not, and yeah, they've been in his life. Holy crap.
Right. And they talk about kids so much. So
Yes.
much. And there was just so many opportunities that he could have brought it up. And there were
Mhm.
so many opportunities that he could just be truthful with her about the situation.
Literally the day they talked about it.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. Here's the whole story.
Yep.
Done. Tell it right from the beginning.
Yep. And he doesn't. And it's like, I don't understand. I'm really looking forward to the reunion, and I hope we get answers about that. Because I know from the last season's reunion, I can't remember what the situation was or what, but I remember there was something that I wanted answers on, and I didn't get answers on because they focused on weird stuff during the reunion last time. Do you remember that? They focused on past couples, and it was like, I don't care about them. I don't know them.
You know what I think it was? Wasn't it about oh my gosh, we just talked about her, Chelsea and Jimmy?
Yeah.
And if they were still together.
Oh,
wasn't that it? I think that was it because it ended and you and I were like, are they together or not? Because they were sitting by each other. I think there was some hand on the leg.
Yeah, there was some hand stuff.
But there was never a clear, so are you guys still together? Or no one straight up so we were like, are they?
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
didn't know.
And they like didn't focus
feel
on
like
them
that
at
was the
all.
thing.
They answered like one question. It was like, what? So I hope it's
Yeah.
not that way for the
Yeah.
reunion.
They were
I'll be very
very.
interested.
They'd cut to the like veterans kind of thing.
Yeah. And which was
We don't care what you're doing.
exactly, especially for me because that was my first season. I had no idea who those people were, so I
Yeah, you're like,
really
I just
didn't
want to
care.
watch the other people.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not that case. This
Yeah.
reunion, and that they ask those questions of Tyler and are like, "Hey, what's going on with your kids?"
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they're gonna grill him.
I really hope so.
After what they
really
did to
hope so.
Trevor last season with the text messages.
I
think
really
it'll be
hope they do
great.
the same thing. I really hope
So.
they do that. Like, and then I keep thinking, like, what if he doesn't like show up to the reunion because he's like, I don't want to deal with that.
I have thought that for Steven. I wonder if Steven will show up.
I feel like he will. I feel
He
like
didn't
he
go
will.
to the friend thing, but that was also very fresh. That had just happened.
Yeah.
The little
Right.
outing.
The meetup. Yeah. Yep.
The
Yep.
little flapper dress 20s get together
Right.
they did.
Right. That had
He
just
skipped
happened.
that.
And
But that I understand. Like, it just happened. You're probably mortified. I mean, a whole year's passed, so who knows?
Yeah. So yeah. So Ashley and Tyler got married. We both said that we thought that they would get married. And we're both looking forward to what he has to say in the reunion. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments about these people.
These people.
Let's talk about the other couple that got married, which, oh, spoiler alert. Hopefully you're still
Spoiler alert. The only other couple that made it to the altar.
sorry, Taylor and Garrett, and they are my favorite. So
yes,
I was very glad that they got married, but the entire time that we were watching all of these episodes, I'm like, when are you going to turn crappy, Garrett? When are you going to turn crappy? What secret is coming out? When are you going to ruin it?
This is too good to be true.
Yes, I thought that the whole time, and I even like said to you a couple of times, like, I'm so nervous that something is going to happen because I really want them to get married, and I'm so glad that they did.
Yes.
So yeah,
and really, the one situation they had, I feel like wasn't that terrible of a thing. I think the only thing he did wrong there was like what we just talked about. Tell the truth the first time.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Yep.
If he had told her the truth from the get-go, I don't think it ever would have turned into what it was. That seemed to be her big problem was, you just said this though.
Yes.
You just said this though. So like that means
like,
you just
which one is it?
Which one is it? Yes, because then that puts doubt. That if he had just said it from the beginning, I think it would have been fine.
Yes. It was very similar to last season's situation with Lauren and whoever, can't remember his name. She was engaged
Jeremy.
to. Yes, that's who it was.
No.
He had two names.
I can't remember her name though.
He was engaged to Lauren or Laura.
Yeah.
Lauren.
Yeah, and his name's Jeremy, and it was spelt weird. And that's why I remember that.
Yeah. But he was texting, was it Sarah Ann? Was that her name?
That's why, that's why I couldn't remember was her name. That's what I was trying to remember. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah. So, and they were messaging each other on Instagram.
Met up and
all he did was like the message or something. And she like kind of really was upset about it. Yeah. So it was a similar situation with a very different outcome.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of interesting to see, see that it was a very similar situation.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of too when he was just like, I just like the message.
Yeah.
I'm like, didn't we do this already?
I was like, wait a minute. Did we not learn lessons here?
Like, I think we already did this. I think we've already seen this episode.
Yeah.
But I think in this case though, or like in the case of the Lauren, Jeremy, I felt like she had a very extreme reaction to that. But then when he pretty much cheats on her with her in a way, it's like, okay, she probably knew more than we did. Like she probably had, it was just an instinct thing for her to get mad because she knew some more than what we knew, kind of thing.
Yes. And their relationship, Taylor, I keep saying Tyler, Taylor and Garrett's relationship, I think feels much more mature
Yes,
than the Lauren and whatever his name
100%.
was. So that probably contributed to the differences that we saw in that situation too. So, but I agree. I don't feel like it was that big of a issue for them. And like that was like the only issue that came up the entire season for them was that. Do you find it weird? I find it a little weird that they talk about their family a lot and how like they make it pretty obvious to me at least that both of their families don't really support this.
I mean, it didn't seem like that to me. I mean, I think it was maybe in the beginning they were a little concerned that their family wouldn't, but I mean, even in that episode we just watched, I felt like they were supportive from each side. Like even the dinner with the mom,
Yeah.
there was kind of this, you know, I can't remember how it was worded, but mom kind of said something to her like, you know, when you know, and she looked at her, she goes, I know, mom. And she goes,
Yeah.
okay. Like that was all she needed.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
she
I
just
remember
needed to
that
hear from
part.
her daughter. This is it. Okay,
Right.
then we're cool. Then I support this as long, you know.
Yeah. I just get the vibe that they're like, we'll support you because we love you, but we don't really, we're not really liking this. We're not really digging this.
I think that's probably more of like because of what it is. 42
Yeah.
days.
42
42
days.
days they've known each other.
Yeah.
I think if you're a parent and you're not concerned, that's actually probably more alarming. Like, you know, if my son were to grow up one day and want to marry a girl after 42 days, I'd be like, you're freaking insane.
Right.
Absolutely not. Like, you know, I wouldn't support it either. I don't care how great she is. I'd be like, give it time because you got to make sure things are compatible. So I get it. I get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It's not so much you don't support the person or the person they chose. It's just, don't you want to make sure? Like, what's the rush? Or, you know.
Yeah. I just thought that it just.
You never want your kid to fail. You don't want your kid to make a mistake.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, so yeah, you don't want them to get hurt. You don't want them to make a mistake that's going to lead to their heartache. And, you know, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it breaks your heart when your child's heart is hurting.
God.
Right? But like, I don't know. I just felt like they brought that up a lot. Like their parent support and stuff. I don't know.
Probably because that's all they had because they're so great.
Yeah, I guess. It probably was like the only thing they had.
They probably had like nothing else to talk about. So
yeah. I loved them though. They were
spearfishing and parents.
And science. I love them. They were my favorite. And we both said yes for them. Yes. So I'm excited to see them on the reunion. I'm really curious if Garrett's hair is long in real life. Because I saw a comment that somebody said that it was just a hairpiece. That his hair really isn't grown out, that it's a hairpiece. So I'm curious if that's true.
I don't know.
Just a little side anecdote there of what I'm curious about. Wait, I want to talk about one thing. Her wedding dress. Yeah. When she tried it on, when they all tried on their wedding dresses and she tried it on, I was like, oh, I really like that. It's simple, it's elegant, it's a little different, which is her. And then at the actual wedding, they showed it more and it was short. And I did not know that it was short. Yeah. It was short in the front, and then there was like these side panels. We'll insert a picture.
Yeah.
So it had these side panels, and I'm sure it was removable for like the reception, which fun, great, fantastic. But it just did not look good.
I'd have to look.
I bet it was because it had like a.
Did it have?
It had like a belt.
I didn't feel like it had one. Okay.
Yeah, it had something there, or like buttons or something. It had something there.
I didn't like the length of the droop.
Yeah, the droop could have been shorter.
All I could see was an elbow getting caught. Like that's all I could visualize was like catching my elbow and something like that constantly.
Sure. I do like that look of that little droopy thing. I think a shorter one might have been restrictive though. So maybe that's why it was the length that it was. But I was not a fan of how the front of her dress was short. So, but
we all have our own taste.
That's right. Exactly. Yep. That's exactly it. It just wasn't my taste. But I loved Ashley's dress. That was really
I'm also
beautiful.
I'm a sucker for lace.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I'm a sucker for a lacy wedding gown, so when there is
Yeah.
no lace, I'm like,
Yeah.
doesn't
I
mean
don't
it's
know.
not
I
pretty. It's just
appreciate
it's
it.
not my taste, you know.
Yeah. I do
I
appreciate
like
a simple
lacy.
wedding dress, but I am a sucker for lace too.
Me too.
And sparkles. She had sparkles. Obviously, sparkles. We love
Mhm.
sparkles, but that was the only other thing was her dress. I
Mhm.
can think of it. Comes up with them. So let's get into the other drama couples.
So you
Let's
might want to
start.
save Hannah and Nikki for last. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
the
what
one
I
we're
was
gonna
gonna
talk
do.
about the most.
Yeah, I was gonna. So let's start out with probably what I feel like is the least drama couple of the drama couple.
Mhm.
Marissa and Ramsey.
Yeah.
I don't know. They had some. So when we left off in the last episode, I said I like them, but they're starting to show cracks,
Mhm.
and they definitely showed more cracks when they got
Mhm.
home.
And I think I was a yes for them too. I think
You were. Hold on, let me look right here. Yeah,
Talking
we both
about-
said yes.
Okay, it was when they started talking about her military service, though.
Yes.
That's when I go. They're not. That's when I was like,
Yeah, he really had an issue with her being in the military.
yeah, that's part of her identity.
Right. She
her
had
past.
very
Yeah.
valid explanations, very good talking points about it. I feel like she brought her point of view up really well, and he was I don't feel like he had any real good reasons why to not support her.
Yeah.
I mean, he did, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like he was open to her point of view.
Right. Well, and like, yeah, I think it's just too much of his own mindset of, I mean, I feel like what he was trying to convey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like his perspective was basically you're signing up to go kill people. And that's
Yeah.
where what his problem is like basically you killed people, you could kill more people. You know, just I think that's just where that's coming from, is the violence
Yeah.
and the killing in that part.
Right. I
But
got that part. I also feel like he felt, like, well, you're supporting colonizers and you just, go into other countries and take them over. And,
right. Yeah. Like the political part of it all or
yes.
whatever. But
Yes.
it's like, and I mean, I respect his opinions. You can have those opinions. We're all allowed them, but and like, and we're not going to turn this political, so don't worry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like that's still someone's past that they are proud of, and if you
Yes.
can't respect that enough to put your own feelings aside, it's never going to work.
Yes.
It's never going to work if you can't respect that enough to, put those feelings aside so that she can, be honored in certain moments and
Right.
like she brought up good points about her kids and like
Right.
she wants to be able to show them like, see this kind of ship, that's what mom got to be on. Like she wants to share her history with them,
her accomplishments too.
Yeah.
Like, right. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're too ashamed of your wife's accomplishments, that's never going to work.
It's never gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I
That's
get
pretty
her
much the
point of
moment I knew.
view.
I'm like,
Yeah. I get her point of view of, when people sign up for the military, they're very young. They don't necessarily know the gravity of what they're signing up to do.
mhm.
And she was like, when I was deployed, I would push a button and I didn't really understand what pushing that button meant, which I think that's very valid. When you're talking about, like 18, 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
I get her point of vieh. I get her point of view completely. And I feel like he just was like, no, I don't. Like, he just was like, could not think of fathoming to see her point of view, period, in any of her arguments. And then they talked about birth control, which we won't get political about that either, but like it was like I just felt very like, I feel like he presents himself as like a progressive, evolved man, and then things come out of his mouth that are not. And it's like, who are you really? Like,
yeah. As soon as it comes to his own wants and needs, and it's like, I'll forget that. Like
Yeah.
all that just
Right.
went out the window real quick.
Right.
And this is the second time that's come up on this show too.
Yes. 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 The difference is though, last season, who I can't remember his name, obviously, where the birth control was an issue, he was fine with abstinence until they got married. And then he was fine-ish, kind of, with if something happened. He was kind of freaked out about like money and stuff if they had a baby, but I don't know. They talked through it and stuff. This season, though, it's different because Ramsey's like, well, I'm not putting on a condom. And she's like, well, I'm not going on birth control. It was very different. It was just very different.
Yep. When she was sick and PMSing, and they had their little fight over, like, basically from what it appears is that he was trying to initiate something and she turned him down because she feels like crap.
Yes.
Literally sick, PMSing.
Right. And they don't say this in the show, but she has rheumatoid arthritis and she was going through a flare up at that time. So she was like, I was in an extreme amount of pain on top of going through my period or PMSing or whatever.
Yeah. They don't mention that. That's like such a crucial detail too, because it makes the
she
part
was
of
like,
that conversation make a little bit more sense too when she brings up like, what if I got cancer someday?
Yeah. Like, so she's sicker and going through more than you realize.
Now that I know that last episode almost makes more sense.
What part?
So in the episode that aired today is when they break up.
Yep.
And she's just distraught.
Oh yeah, she is.
It came out of
devastated.
Came out of nowhere. Like they were good for days, you know.
Yeah, I feel like she didn't see the stuff that, like, I feel like I could see. Like I could see him like, yeah, I don't know about this. And like I feel like she wanted it so bad that she just didn't see anything.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, she made that point though about like sickness and health and all, and it's like, what if that made him start thinking about the long haul? Because like, as somebody who, you know, my mom has MS, I know what it's like to live with somebody who has a long-term illness. Like, you got to be prepared to deal with that for life. You have to be prepared for the fact that it could get worse. And you have to be prepared for the fact that might cause issues in your life. Are you going to stand by them or not? And if
and that your
really
needs are going to come,
that,
there's going to be times where your needs are going to come last.
And it's very clear that his needs are very important. And so maybe he did some self-reflecting and was kind of like, this could be a long-term issue that's, you know, if she's sick like this, and because as far as we know, what if she said no again because she was having another flare up and we didn't see that on camera? Like, who knows? But
yeah,
that might have prompted him because it seemed very out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. I don't feel like it was out of nowhere because I feel like he seemed reserved and hesitant for a while.
Sure. I mean, we see moments, but I mean, for her.
Yeah, for her. Yeah, obviously.
Which, it could be she just wasn't seeing the things, or maybe things were good for those, like, couple days leading up to that, and so she was, like, blindsided in a way.
Yes.
I and we see these a few of these breakups, they, like, made a decision, and then in the breakup moment, they're, like, almost searching for the reasons. It's like they've just changed, like, it's like they just changed their mind.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to break up with them without great excuses. like they're searching for reasons to leave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes those things, you know, it's just like a feeling. You're just like, I just know that you're not. And then when somebody's like, well, but why? But why? And you're like, I don't know why. I just know, you know. But so let's talk about that breakup part since we're still talking about them.
So sad.
It was so sad.
Because you just literally saw her shatter on the inside, pretty much.
Yeah. And she just lost it. Yeah. Too. And she just kept asking him, like, are you sure? Are you sure? And she's devastated. devastated. And I was devastated for her. And like,
know.
it was hard to watch. You could tell, like, she wanted it so bad.
She
She
was in
wanted it so
love.
bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think if he would have been like, yeah, I'm not sure, let's still whatever, she would have been like, okay. And she would have done, I feel like she would have done whatever it took.
Yeah. Even if
And
it's like, hey, I don't want to get married, but let's continue to see each other or something.
Yeah.
I feel like she would have been like, okay, like she just didn't want to leave her. And he was outright leaving her. So,
Yep.
But, you know, I mentioned last time how sometimes I feel like some of these couples like know. I feel like they know early on, but they go through the motions anyways. I mean, they get paid per episode, so maybe that's why. But I feel like they just kind of go through the motions, even though one, if not both, no, it's not right kind of thing. And I feel like their breakups are very telling as to who that applies to. You know, like in their case, I feel like they did have real feelings involved and they weren't just going through the motions, because look at how they felt. Both of them cried in that breakup.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you could tell.
You look at some of the other couples, they break up and it's just like, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. If that's how you feel about someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, then you did not want to spend the rest of your life with.
Right.
Like.
Right.
Like that was a true breakup. That was a true heartbreak.
Oh yeah. Right, yeah. Oh yeah. We witnessed hearts breaking for sure. It was sad. It was sad to see. Did you want to talk about
one more thing? Let's all say a little prayer that his balls survive.
That's not what I was thinking of, but
Mom might be coming. Mom might be coming for him now.
Yeah. Well, and so this like batch of episodes, we haven't even talked about her yet.
Oh, I know, we haven't.
Marissa's mom.
Oh my God. That's a personality.
She is. Woo. She is a personality. She's something else. And I thought it was interesting too when she was like, I feel like she put a lot of like her issues with men like on Marissa.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, like, well, you can just get divorced and like, Marissa's like, no.
No, 100%.
She's a little rough around the edges, I would say. And she just says whatever she wants to say.
Straight up called her daughter a bitch.
Yeah. She sure did.
Never.
Yeah.
Even if my kid had some sass and we had a joking relationship, I'd never be like, well, you're an asshole. Like,
yeah.
You could never.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Mom was interesting. However, Mom was the first person she called when they broke up, or what it seemed like. So she understands her mom, even though her mom is a little something else.
That was one thing I gathered, because I saw a TikTok where she was talking about her mom, and it's like, I think she knows how she is.
Yeah, she knows her mom.
That's how she is.
That's
I know
my
it's
mom.
not the best, but she loves me and she means well. Like,
yeah. And I get mom. She was just, she's being a mama bear, and she's like, don't you dare hurt my daughter, and I'm gonna cut your balls off if you do. So we'll see. Let's talk about Tim and Alex. So when we pick up back with Tim and Alex, they are meeting Alex's dad for the first time, and he wrote a letter to dad, asked him for permission to marry her. And that's where we kind of get back into the episode. And it seemed like a great get together of meeting her family, and then she meets his family later, and that seemed to go fine. And then we find out later, no, some other stuff went on behind the scenes that the cameras didn't capture. The cameras have been bad this season about missing things. They need
to take some notes from like Real World.
Yeah,
they have cameras in the place for when the cameras miss stuff.
Yeah. I don't think you watched it before, but on Netflix there's a show called The Circle, and they have cameras literally everywhere. They're just like attached to the wall, and they're everywhere. You can, they move every direction and everything. Like they capture everything. They're in the bathroom. They're everywhere. Like that needs to be because we missed at least 2 fights and many things it seems like we've missed, because all of a sudden it will cut to and there'll be this super serious conversation and they'll be like, well, we should talk about what happened last night. And we're like, what happened?
What happened?
What do you mean? Why didn't we get to see it?
Yeah, it's like, are all these fights happening when cameras leave and it's like 1 a.m.? Like, or what? What's the deal?
I don't know. Apparently. So
I feel like a lot of people probably been fired.
Yeah, or
you missed that one too. All right, that's it.
Yeah. Next time we're getting different people in.
Yeah.
So then they meet his family. Things seem to go well. We find out that as soon as the cameras turned off, Alex took a nap and his parents drove up 10 hours to be with her and meet her and stuff. And he thought that was very disrespectful. She seemed to be kind of blindsided by this conversation because she was like, I spent the whole day with you guys. I was tired. I needed a nap. I take naps.
Yeah.
I don't see what the big deal is.
Well, and from what I understand too, is she went to them and said, like, it's been wonderful visiting with you. I have another event that I have to go to here in about an hour. But before I make that trip, I'm just going to go take a quick little nap upstairs and then I'll be out. But it's been great visiting with you. You know, like, she didn't just go and fall asleep.
Right.
And she said they seemed fine with that.
Yeah. And I feel like that's understandable too. Like, if I've been with you all day and I have something that coming up, which it sounds like she needed to travel for, or at least drive, like, and I'm tired, like, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to take a quick nap real quick.
You know, when she said, you know, I get tired a lot. I don't know why. I kind of went, oh, crap. Like, that's a reoccurring issue for you. Because that can be one of the first signs of MS, to be honest. Fatigue.
I thought,
that sent up a different kind of red flag for me, is, you know, because my mom has it.
Right.
It's like so I'm very well researched into MS.
Yeah.
Anytime there was a school project, research.
Oh yeah, it was her family that
I'm like,
had MS.
I'm doing MS. I know all about it. So
I forgot it's her family that has MS. Her dad is MS.
Have it. Yeah, that can be a genetic thing. Like, my mom's cousin also has it. Like, yeah. So
yeah,
that's a little. I think that she needs to look into that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't think if she did go about the way she says, I don't really feel like what she did was that big of a deal. Why did you leave her alone with your parents?
I feel like
also because he left.
He did.
She was alone with the parents when that happened.
I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, he actually like left and ran out. Maybe he just ran out for something. I don't know. But why'd you leave her alone with them? She just met them. Like, I wouldn't be comfortable.
I wouldn't either. That would be weird.
Like, no, like, because I'm just kind of more shy and awkward when I first meet people.
But, right. Same.
You know.
Same. I would be like,
maybe you shouldn't have left her. I don't know.
Yeah. I think especially him too, though, was looking for an excuse to be out.
That's kind of what I was saying earlier. Yeah.
They clearly were not compatible. They were good in the pods, but as soon as they got out of the pods, they were not good in Mexico. They were not good when they moved in together. Like, I can't believe that he even wrote the whole letter to her dad.
That letter was from the pods.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He wrote that in the pods, read that to her, and basically said, this is what I plan to read to your dad, kind of thing.
Right. So. But I still can't believe he did all that too, like, and asked permission to the dad. Which what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I have found that a little bit interesting to see how many people still were like, you need to ask my dad's hand, and if he says no, we're not doing this. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe I'm
that's a lot of
my thinking on that, but I'm like,
right.
I mean, I actually said to Trevor, you don't need to ask. I was like, because if he were to say yes, if he were to say no, it doesn't sway me either way.
Yeah.
And I'm not something to give away. I'm not some kind of trophy or a prize. I said, if you really want to do something, you may go ask my parents for their blessing. I was like, you're welcome to do that. but I do not want you to go say, do I have your permission to marry my daughter?
Right.
I was like, I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't need anyone's permission.
Yeah.
That's what I told him before, because I knew it was coming. I knew it was
Yeah.
coming. So
Yeah.
that's where I was with that. But
Yeah. A little different for
surprised, I
me.
guess.
A little different for me. I told my husband Tim that he needed to ask permission. However, I have a caveat. I was only 22. You know, I was very young. It was just like, to me, it was just like, well, this is what you do. I didn't
Yeah.
think of it beyond that.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it beyond tradition, you know,
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. So,
Yeah,
and
like I think I was 24 or so.
mhm.
I think we were like 24, 25, maybe. So maybe I was 25. I'm trying to do the math. Yeah, I was 25. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
was
a little.
22, and then we were engaged for 2 years, and
Mhm.
then we got married at 24, which is still super young. And
Mhm.
but yeah, I like your thinking better of just getting their blessing versus
Yeah.
permission.
Because I still
'Cause I'm
understand
not
wanting to
property,
have the
and
conversation. Like, I still understand. But I think, yeah, you can ask for their blessing, was kind
yeah,
of how I framed that. I was like, because I was like, if you feel the need to talk to them, this is what you can do. It's
yeah,
like, but permission, I was like, don't you even say that word, because
yeah,
I don't need their permission to do anything.
yeah, 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 yeah. It probably made a difference too because Tim and I had been together for like 7 years. So
Mhm.
it was like, we all know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Type of
No,
thing,
they're not
but
going to be like, no.
yeah, right.
I think we were
So
together like a year,
mhm.
and that was like unofficial, actually. Officially, it was maybe like 8 months or something.
Sure.
But here we are 11 years later.
Yeah. Um, anything else with Tim and Alex?
I don't think so, but like that is kind of
Don't
what
think
I was
so.
talking about, though, where it's like I felt like he was searching for reasons. I think he checked out in
Yes.
Mexico. I still stand by what I said. I think he checked out in Mexico.
Yeah, when they had
But
that
he was
big
trying. He
argument.
was trying to keep it going. He was
I
trying
think
to
he
make the
was.
effort to do something he's never done before, which is move past an argument. Because he's pretty much said, when I raise
Right.
my voice, I'm done.
Yep.
So that was kind of new for him.
Yep.
And
He was trying something different, which I applaud him on
yeah,
that.
I
Yep.
do too. I mean, yeah, he was trying to move past it, but I think at the end of the day, he probably still didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah. I think their breakup was like what you were saying, where they're both like, just like, okay, well, yep, bye.
Yeah,
Like,
that
it
was
wasn't.
one of the ones that was in my head, where it was like, because yeah, she was like, okay. She's
Yep.
like, you're there's no talking you back into this kind of, okay.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
it.
And we both said last time that we both gave him a no for getting married. So we
Yeah.
both.
Because I knew he was checked out. I could see it in
Yeah.
his face, and
Yeah, you could see
she
it. He
didn't
tried.
like his humor. She was always trying to change those things about him, and
Yep. They
but
were a pod couple, and that's it. As soon
yeah.
as they got out into the real world, it was like, no, these people. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope. All right. You ready?
Let me get my seatbelt on. Hold on. Yeah, buckle up.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Talk about them.
All right.
Hannah and Nick.
Hannah's a bitch.
Yep.
I'm going to say it. I'll die on that hill. I have never watched somebody just be so freaking mean.
Yes.
Just constant belittling and just, it was so manipulative. It really was. I started to notice like this pattern, and it's something that I experienced a bit last year, not romantically, obviously, but with a friend, where it'd be this like, I love you. Let me hurt you now. I love you. Let me hurt you now. I love you. It's so manipulative because they keep you on that string so you don't leave with the I love yous, but then they're constantly trying to hurt you and tear you down, and stuff
right.
like
And
that.
then you second guess yourself because they're telling you like, oh, I love you.
Right.
And then
so you're like, am I crazy here? Like,
right.
Why do I feel like this isn't, but they're saying this, like,
Right.
Yeah.
And you could see how somebody like Nick D, who has only had 2 other girlfriends before, who could be easily manipulated by somebody like her.
Yep.
I felt a lot of sympathy for him.
I feel way
especially
different
these
than I
last.
did. In our last episode, I felt I was like in this like kind of douchey, kind of immature. And then after seeing him since, I'm like, he's just a sweet, nice guy
Yep.
that was a little too coddled.
Yep.
He was given a little too much,
Mhm.
helped a little too much, but he is willing and open to learn and to change and to learn how to be an adult and pay. Like he's very open to that from what I can tell.
Yeah.
And that still like was not enough for her.
Yep. No, she very much was like, I did this since I've been 18. You're 28. Why are you not doing this? And he's like, I will. Why aren't you doing it? We can do that. And she just is like, I don't know.
There's like every time he doesn't know something, like how to boil pasta or whatever, and it's just Nick, you don't know how to Nick. It's like,
oh my God, Nick.
Teach him then.
Yeah.
Teach him then.
And don't
like,
belittle him.
No, like you know what's in front of you, that this man has not learned how to do a lot of things and that he needs this kind of help, and he's very open to it. So help him then. Yeah. And if you don't want to, if you don't want to be the person to help him grow and change, then leave.
Yeah.
But quit tearing him down for it.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
And you tearing him down for it over and over is not going to help him grow.
Yeah. It's not his fault that his parents were like, sure, live with us. Sure. I'll make you, like, it's not his fault that he's
like, as a grown-ass adult, if your parents were really offering to still pay for some of your stuff, you're telling me you're going to say, no, I got it. Of course we're going to take advantage of it.
Of course. But I'm 41 years old, and if my parents came to me and said, hey, we're going to put you on our cell phone plan and pay for it, I'd be like, fantastic. One less thing I have to worry about.
There's a lot that my parents still paid for up until, like, practically me getting married.
Yeah.
I was still on my dad's insurance when I got married.
Yeah.
Got kicked off at 26, and that's when I switched. But, like, like, of course you're going to take that, especially if you're, like, in between, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Of course you're going to take that help.
Which he said that, too. Like, he was like, I devoted my life to football. I was trying to make this my thing. Now I'm in real estate, trying to make that thing, which, by the way, realtors have to, like, hustle. That's a tough industry to be in, too.
It sounds like he is. I mean, he came home, suited up from going out and working all day. He changes his shirt, and she's like, are you going back out? And he's like, he talked about a Zoom meeting. Yeah. So he was still working. Like,
Right. He's trying. It's not like he's just sitting on the couch doing nothing.
No.
And she is just,
when she said, I'll treat you equally when you contribute equally, I won't.
Oh my gosh.
You quit your job, lady. You quit your job to come on this show. He's contributing in a way you're not even doing right now. Like, the only contribution she was literally seeking was, like, chores and taking the dog out. That's what she was talking about, was chores and taking the dog out. You know what? He's the one that's actually working all day. Maybe help a little since you're not. Like, just a thought. Like,
Right.
And you having this high of a standard for cleaning, that's not his job to meet that standard, because that is a ridiculous standard, in my opinion. If you are a neat freak, clean freak, okay. Like, but to expect vacuuming every single day, what is this girl going to do when she has children? What is she going to do? Because no working mom.
Well, she's going to make her husband take care of them. That's what she's going to do.
Because it's like, no working mom has time to vacuum every day.
Yeah.
I barely have time to plan a meal half the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we barely have time to shower sometimes. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know what that, like, that, there's no way that was ever going to work.
Yeah.
Ever.
No.
And she's still going to, if that's really her expectation, she's still going to struggle to find someone, I feel like. Because.
Yeah. Also, the $300 a week on groceries. I have a family of 4, and my son is just getting to that, like, stage where he's almost eating everything. Like, we go through a gallon of milk, I swear, every other day from him alone. I don't even have $300 a week in groceries.
No.
With a family of 4. And she's like, I spend $300 every single week, Nick.
And that's on one person. Like,
that's one person.
So what are you buying? That's what I want to know. What organic, high-end, high quality things are you spending that money on? Because that's absurd.
Right? And it's like when you enter into a marriage, when you enter into a relationship, like you need to compromise. And I feel like she wanted him to compromise everything, and she
Mm-hmm.
was not going to compromise. She was like, "This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You are now going to change everything to accommodate me,
100%.
and I will belittle you the entire time."
Yep. Yep. And when they had that dinner with the brother,
Yeah.
and she's of course doing her thing, and he gives it back.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, that's mean.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't
You're
funny.
so
That was
mean,
mean.
Nick.
It's like, and he even says, "Oh, so you can do it, but you can be mean, but I can't be mean back."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Also, I'm pretty sure your best friend in the whole wide world after
I'm so glad
30
you brought that up.
days. Does that mean you have no friends? Like, I'm confused. How's that your best friend in the whole wide world? That was a direct quote. Whole wide world. That's your
Yes.
best friend.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
You just met. Oh my god. And you have not seen her since. You went to Mexico and you just got, like, you literally probably spent 2 weeks with the girl.
2 weeks, maybe? Yeah.
Right?
Right. And that's your best friend in the whole wide world? Also,
and it's Nick's fault that she thinks he's so hot.
yes, that was my thing. Was like, she's the one that's like, oh, he's a lot hotter in person. Oh, blah blah blah. She's the one doing all these things, and then Hannah has a problem with Nick, but not the best friend in the whole world.
Yeah. I actually wonder if she was drunk.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it because they said they were out until like 2 a.m.
Right. They were out late. They were drinking. But also, it's just the way that whole conversation flipped.
Oh, yeah. How she was like,
she's so...
Oh, look at my
She's
feet.
tearing him down. She's talking about Katie, all this and that. And he throws logic at her.
Yeah, I think
he starts throwing logic at her. Like, so it's my fault that she said I was hot 5 times. Like, he starts just pointing out everything she's saying is not okay, not correct. And then it's like suddenly, and she's listening, and then it was like all of a sudden it's like she just smiles, and it's just like, you look really hot today though. Let's go to bed. It's like all of a sudden she just like wanted to, I mean, it definitely gave me let's go to bed kind of vibes the way she was looking at him and talking. But I'm like, you were just mad at him 5 seconds ago. And then he's even like, okay, so because she's like, it's late, let's just go to bed, we'll talk in the morning kind of thing. But she's like trying to be all lovey all of a sudden. He's like, so just to be clear, before we go to bed, you're not mad at me for anything, correct? Like, he like wants to, like, let's just make sure that's clarified now. And she's like, correct, whatever.
Yep.
And I'm like, I feel like in that moment she either was like, she had some sort of realization, as if like, okay, I'm really fighting over something stupid here. I don't want to own that I'm doing something stupid, so let's just pretend this never happened. Oh, honey, let's go to bed. Or
that's exactly what I think happened. Is she realized, oh, this is irrational, and I'm in the wrong. I'm losing. I'm gonna lose this. I don't lose things. I'm getting out of this.
Yeah. Or she was drunk. That's kind of my only other thought, is like, or because when people are drunk, they go from happy to sad to mad to whatever real quick. That's kind of my only other guess.
Was that also the same conversation when she said, I made you from a boy into a man?
And then she might have done it again at the end, maybe, but I'm pretty sure it was in that moment she said that too.
And that is just so belittling, and just like,
you didn't turn him into anything. Like, he's trying to better himself on his own, and actually you keep tearing him down.
Yeah, she's awful. Like, I can't even remember how many times I would message you and be like, I hate Hannah.
I know.
And
when your own brother is even like, yeah, that's kind of the problem I have with her too, because she's like that with me. It's like, okay, so this isn't just you're not attracted to someone, and so you're kind of being nasty or whatever. This is like,
how she is.
That's who you are.
Yep.
Got it. Like,
yes. I get the vibe that she thinks she is top shit. She thinks very highly of herself. And if you are if she perceives you as not on her level, she will just tear you down even farther.
I actually think it's the opposite.
Mm.
I think she's highly insecure.
Well, yes, she is.
And so she counteracts that by behaving as if she is top shit and she's and all those things, because it's actually a mask for her deep-seated insecurities.
Yes.
And I've also seen some people point out on TikTok their own theories too, of that people think that she's jealous of him because she got cut off at 18, had to fend for herself, still does, and then he didn't have to, and it's like, wow, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
I think she resents him a little bit because he didn't have to go through what she went through.
Yeah. That's kind of a common feeling that people can have, you know, is I didn't get that, so you don't deserve that either.
Right. Yep. And you made a good point to me too about the parents and her reaction to them, like not ripping him a new one. Like you, yeah.
So what I said, I'm trying to remember, so if I forget something that I said, feel free to jump in. But I said that I think she expected him to get torn apart by the parents because they cut him off, or they cut her off at 18. He was not cut off. You know, he didn't have the same upbringing that she did. So she expected to go into meeting her parents and that they would grill him, and they didn't. And so she was upset by that. And she even said something to the effect of like, is that it? Is this it?
Yeah.
And the parents were like,
you guys are going to grill him?
We're just meeting him. And, you know, and she did not like that fact that he wasn't getting grilled. And so I think my theory is that she told her friends that you need to grill him and you need to be hard to him, because they were very different on him than her parents were.
And I think you're 100% right, because like I said, I rewatched, right? And so you had said that, and then I got to rewatch that. And sure enough, the first time a friend says something in a grilling kind of way, look at her.
What'd she do? Oh, really?
She shoots a look right to her friend and has the biggest smile, like, yeah, girl. Like,
get him.
Yes, is exactly what her face said. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, Christina's dead on. I was like, Christina's 100% right. I think you nailed that. I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, she wanted him to be grilled.
Because they came in nasty.
They did.
They were not even open-minded coming into it. So she clearly talked to them about what she was feeling. She's like, I need you guys to grill him. Because here's what I'm wanting him to do, and he's just not getting it. So I need someone to like help me.
Yep. Somebody to be on my side. Because her parents weren't, which surprised her. And so she had her friends do it. So
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. She's just terrible. I think it'll be interesting. The reunion's going to be really interesting. I don't know when this is going to air. Are we going to do it earlier or not? I don't know.
So this episode will air like 2 days after the reunion.
Okay.
So, which I don't know. We'll have to discuss a bonus reunion episode.
A bonus reunion episode.
Because I don't want to wait like a whole week to talk about it, and then a whole other week to.
I know, right? We might have to put some episodes, or put an episode in between or something like that.
Yeah. But oh my God, I just feel so bad for the guy.
I do too. I really, really feel bad for him, and I'm so glad
this whole experience helps him find a nice girl.
Yes. Have you seen some of his TikToks though? He is like totally using it to his advantage.
Which,
he's like selling houses with it.
Everyone,
and like,
we have an announcement. Nikki D liked both of our comments. So he posted this TikTok, which was someone else's TikTok. And if we should play it, we should insert it right here.
It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 99 degrees. I ain't got no and got me.
So someone else's TikTok, but he posted it, and it was about him riding the ducks or whatever. And I just commented I was cackling or something, just cracking up.
Yeah, and I just did like laughing faces or something.
Yes, and then and he liked it, and I was like, I screenshot, like, look, he liked my comment. Christine's like, ooh, and then she runs over there and comments too. She's like, he liked mine too. We made it.
Yes, I was like, we made it.
I were totally like
Nikki
cheesing
D
out about it.
liked our comments.
So Nikki D, if you're watching, we love you, buddy.
We love you. We're on your side.
We're Team Nick. We're Team Nikki D.
We're Team Nick.
No Nick the Ick over here.
No.
We
I
need- what's the
mean,
name
it
for her?
started, but we lost it as soon as
Yeah,
Hannah.
I mean Hannah doesn't rhyme with bitch, so
I know. I was like Hannah the bitch.
I know. I'm like, what can we call her? That was also another one of those breakups too, where it's like, again, how they felt shows in the breakup, because it clearly showed she felt nothing, and it showed he did.
Yeah.
He actually looked like he was keeping some stuff down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could start to see the welling a little bit, but it stayed in. Like, it's like he was trying not to cry kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
She too has said this a couple of times that he like before that happened, like he texted her and like kind of wanted to get their story straight because he was concerned about how he was going to look. And like she said that to the like girls when they were together, that like something about like he's concerned about how he's going to come across or how he's going to look. And she says it in a very negative way. But like I feel like any normal person would feel that way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be on Netflix for millions of people to see.
sure.
I'm going to be concerned about that, about how I'm
Well,
going to
and
come across.
especially when the person that you're with is constantly tearing you down and
Tearing you
constantly
down.
trying to make you look terrible.
Yeah. So,
at
of
every
course, he's
turn,
going to
of
be
course.
second guessing himself.
Yeah. Because
Yep.
he's expecting her to be like, well, Nick just couldn't get it together. And Nick just blah, 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 blah. Nick.
Yeah. Yep.
Nick. Yeah.
Yep. I'm
She
glad
could do
though
that
that
voice.
they broke up before she tried on wedding dresses and stuff, that she didn't
Yeah.
take it that far. So
Well,
that
and
was
I
good.
feel like that's where some of these people, like, they fake it and go through the motions. Because, like, I mean, it's been revealed from past cast members, they get paid more the further along they go.
Yes. Yep.
If they get to the altar, they make more money, kind of
Right.
thing. And so I think that's why some of them, they do just go through the motions, even though they're not feeling it. They play along and go as far as they can because they'll make more money. Girl quit her
Right.
job, remember?
Right.
So I mean, I haven't felt like she was that attracted to him from the beginning.
Mhm.
Like, there's some attraction, obviously, to have sex with
As
a guy.
soon as
kiss
that,
him,
as soon as that
but-
door opened and she was like,
right? Oh yeah, I'm sitting like this. No, like, and I felt like she just needed time to process the fact that he didn't look like she expected, which I
Yep.
still believe. And I think she had some attraction to him, but she was not in love with him. And she knew that this whole time.
I think so too.
She knew that this entire time. And, you know, I think that he did have real feelings for her.
Yeah. I think he was trying. I think he was trying.
Yeah. I mean, the guy has never said, I love you.
Yeah.
Like, he's never said it before. He's only had 2 serious girlfriends. So it's
Mhm.
like, to do all that's a big deal for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can't see.
She's awful.
She's awful.
Final words. She's awful.
Mhm.
And we're glad.
Final word, she's awful.
Married. And it'll be interesting at the reunion, and I don't know.
And I think
Stay
Katie should
tuned.
call him. Call him up, Katie.
Yeah, right. I wonder. We'll
I
find
mean, it's
out.
happened.
Yep. Sure.
Jeremy and Sarah Ann,
Yep.
but they just
Yep.
broke up.
They just broke up.
I'm surprised they lasted that long.
I know, right? Me too. I thought the same thing.
So that's like what, at least a couple years?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for sure since the reunion. So it's been at
Yeah.
least a year. So
Well, no, because actually, you know what? The last season ended
oh
March,
yeah.
April, because we talked
Yeah,
about it. In
that's
the very
right, we
beginning
talked
of this
about it.
podcast.
Yeah.
So
Right. It hasn't been a year.
it's probably been 6 months.
Or it's 9. I don't know.
6 months. Well,
I don't
remember, we
math.
didn't start the podcast till March.
Yeah, because
was
your
6, 7
schedule needed
months.
to change, and
Yeah.
we talked about the
Been like
podcast
6,
for a
7
long
months since the
time,
last-
but
yeah. So
Mm,
maybe that
okay.
means in 6 months we'll have the next season.
Yeah, maybe. Which is in my state of Minnesota, so that'll be interesting. I am super curious too if I'll be like, oh, I know that building. Oh, I know where they are.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that. Maybe I'll have to like go out to like the places that they are and be like, live from Love is Blind.
That'd be funny.
This is where they had dinner. I'm totally gonna do that.
Do an episode with your gold goblet sitting
Yes,
like in some
I'm gonna take my cup around if I can figure out where they are
That's funny.
or where they had been.
Yeah.
I'll do like a food review or something. On episode 3, they had dinner here. Let's go check it out.
Or you watch it all and you're like, crap, everything's 4 hours away.
Yeah. No, I think they did everything in Minneapolis, which is like 25 minutes away from here. So not bad. Any final thoughts? Any wrap-up thoughts?
I don't think so. I want to know the reunion.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the reunion.
I want to hear from Ashley.
Yeah.
How did that go down after?
Yeah. I hope that's a big part of the episode.
Okay, prediction. Are they still together or not? I'm going to say yes, because I did see something on TikTok prior to even knowing they got married that pretty much gave me a feeling they got married, because it was like someone talking some crap about Tyler, the whole thing. And she like replied to this person's comment just through like text, defended him.
Right.
And it just had very much like, that's my man kind of energy to it.
Right.
And it was from reading that, it was like, oh, they got married, didn't they? Like, I immediately was like, I bet they get married just from reading that alone. And that's recent. So I think they're still together.
I think they're still together too. I think they probably had some issues when all this came to light. I hope that she didn't learn about it like the rest of us did.
That would be my big concern. Like, as if he really just like dropped those kids, like just, okay, I'm gonna go deadbeat mode now, bye, and just go live with my wife over here, and like she never, whatever,
right,
and then finds out with the rest of us. That'd be terrible.
Yes, it would be.
But I still don't think that's the case though, because I feel like that comment was really recent.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they're still together, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited, but
I'm actually really mad we didn't get to see her meeting his family and all that.
Yeah, we did.
I'm like, why was that?
Yeah, edited for time, or who knows?
Or they didn't get the kind of thing they wanted, which was something about the kids, or or because there was like almost this lead up to it of, remember, we talked about last time we were having that dinner, and he's like giving her this heads up of like, when we go back to see my family, you're gonna hear some things about me. Yep. Why didn't we get to see it?
Yeah, we didn't see any of that. The only thing we heard not so great was from your mouth when you finally fessed up, and then you still couldn't tell the truth.
And then same with like Ramses's family. We didn't get to see that either.
Oh yeah, that's right. We saw Friends though with him, right?
Did we?
Maybe we did.
I remember them seeing her friends.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Because they were talking about her military service, his feelings about it, that whole thing. And they're like, so you wouldn't be with her if she rejoined? Like, so I know they saw her friends. I'm like, where's all
That's probably what I'm thinking of. Was her friends. Yeah.
Like,
interesting.
Like, is it just because nothing interesting for TV happened?
Right.
Or
time.
Did parents refuse? Because I feel like when parents refuse to meet or something, I feel like that gets brought up.
Yeah, like Taylor and
right?
Garrett. Yeah.
Right. So I don't think that's the case. So it's like, why don't we get to see it? What happened?
Well, you know what? He did talk about his family when they were in the like hot tub boat, which I want to do that, by the way. That like his family was in a different country.
Oh.
And then she was like, is your family from, I can't remember where, like Ghana maybe it was. Is your family coming? And he said that he didn't invite them. Do you remember that?
No.
And he said that they came to the first wedding.
Oh.
And
I guess I missed that part.
Yeah, it was in the boat. Hot tub boat. But yeah. But I got the impression that was like his extended family. It
Mhm.
wasn't like his immediate family.
Mhm.
Maybe he didn't invite them because he knew. I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know.
Okay, we should wrap it up.
It's been a
Longest
long
episode
episode.
Longest
We
episode
can talk
ever.
Love is Blind all day.
We could. If you, especially because we don't like, we try not to talk about it until we get here. And then
Yeah.
we're just like, wow.
Let me tell you everything I've been holding in for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please, if you are watching Love is Blind, let us know. We want to like commiserate with you and
Yes.
talk about it with you. And thank you so much for sticking around for our longest episode yet. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the things. We so appreciate your support and thank you for sticking around for the episode. We will check you next time. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.